than meets the eye. Autobots raise their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers. Autobots in the sky, the Transformers. More than meets the eye, the Transformers.
Good morning, teachers, students, parents, and members of the jury. My name is Óscar Ramírez from first grade A, and I would like to share with you the topic of my presentation, which is about the long story of the Transformers franchise. It all started in the year 1984, when the first Transformers series was launched. It was a huge hit in a generation that grew up with other series that came out right after the end of the previous series, in the year 1987. The story is about the Autobots, who fought for freedom, and the Decepticons who dreamt about tyranny. Currently, there are over 120 million fans of the TF franchise around the world, and that is due to the success of the films that caught children and teenagers' attention since the year 2007. We have also started loving the series, the Transformers G1. The beginning of all. In the G1, this story isn't finished, because it doesn't explain all about the Transformers, but gathering the excellent facts, something like this results. The Quintessons, an ancient species of evil aliens like a flying ball with tentacles and 5 faces, each one with a different personality, arrived to Cybertron, a lonely and metallic planet with a great potential, and built a great amount of robots for factory purposes. One faction was created to work in their master's house, the Autobots. That's their logo. And the others were to defend the planet with military soldiers, the Decepticons. Right there. For a long time, the robots were Quintesson slaves, until they learned the difference between slavery and freedom, and also how to transform themselves into Cybertronian vehicles. They called themselves Transformers. Together, both factions exiled the Quintessons from their planet, and so began the golden age of Cybertron, which was filled of science and new discoveries, such as the Energon, the Transformers' energy life, similar to our blood, and a new creation, the Matrix of Leadership, an artifact with a higher power of destruction that had scientists and leaders' great minds. It only could be opened by its holder, a Prime, who as tradition was called leader of the Autobots. The Great Conflict. 1,000 years passed by, and the Transformers' independence was a huge problem, because they didn't have a leader for the two factions at all. They did have a leader for each faction only. But the biggest problem was the energy or Energon, which wasn't enough to maintain organic life on Cybertron. Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, wanted that Energon dominated not only Cybertron, but also the universe with tyranny and ruthlessness. So they were the bad guys, who mainly transformed into aircraft, except for Megatron, who transformed into a gun. And the good guys were the Autobots, defenders of freedom and all sentient beings. Land vehicles were their mainly transformations. Their leader was Optimus Prime, a red and blue truck, who opposed Megatron because the Redis robot could kill anyone to complete his purpose. Their rival. With Cybertron finally consumed by death, the Transformers were obliged to leave their planet and seek for another with more energy. A group of surviving Autobots escaped from the Decepticons' hands on a huge spaceship called the Ark. But some Decepticons had the same plan, so they followed the Ark on board their own, the Nemesis. And then they got on the Autobot spaceship. A great fight began between those rivals, and hoping to end with Megatron's threats, Optimus Prime purposely crashed the spaceship into the unknown planet called Earth. And the surviving Transformers were unconscious for the next 4,000,000 years, until the Handy volcano erupted in the year 1985. The eruption reactivated the Ark's computer, Teletron 1, that shot a ray to the Decepticon Skywarp, who helped the other Decepticons because that ray will reactivate their spark, what we know as Soul. and give new vehicles designed to them. When all the Decepticons got off the spaceship, Starscream, the second-in-command Decepticon, shot the Ark just for challenge Megatron's orders. That caused a little motion on the Ark. That also moved Optimus' body to the erase shot. And so the remaining Autobots were alive once again. Alertly, Megatron realized Earth was filled of energon from its inside, and Optimus Prime wanted to protect the species that live on the planet, instead of working with Megatron for the humanity's extinction and their own surviving. A Hero's End. Already in the ending of the series, its movie came out in 1986. It explained all the finish of the story. One shall stand, one shall fall. Those were some of the final words that Prime said to his enemy. He was injured by the evil tricks of Megatron, but he too. Prime was very damaged, what meant he wouldn't survive. He passed the Matrix to Hot Rod, renamed by him as Rodimus Prime. Optimus' final sad word says, "One day, an Autobot shall rise from our wrecks and use the power of the Matrix to alight our darkest hour. Until that day, till all are one." Then, in the far reaches of space, was Megatron, left behind by some Decepticon traitors, who formed an alliance with Unicron, a giant robot who transformed into a great planet with a huge power previous to the Quintessons, to rebuild his damaged body and have a new name, Galvatron. They wanted to destroy the Matrix, but Rodimus Prime, the Matrix holder, found a way to defeat Galvatron and Unicron. He opened the Matrix to alight their darkest hour, when Unicron attacked Cybertron, which was refueled by Energon with humans' help, and the bad guys were defeated forever. Finally, the Autobots returned to Cybertron to rebuild their cities impaired by the war and reign in peace. As conclusion, I can say that the G1 series was and will be the most important part of the TF franchise, because a lot of people continue loving them in the same way as the generation that enjoyed the series, because it tells the story of freedom and ambition through a lot of fights that may catch your attention first time you watch it. Besides, this series brings you so many philosophies that, in my opinion, serves to live a better life, and also proves that the Transformers had feelings and emotions. That means they aren't just stiff robots like some might think. Finally, I cannot finish this presentation without mentioning the fact that in a few days, the 21st, will be launched the 5th Transformers movie, called Transformers: The Last Night. Are you ready to see an evil Optimus Prime fighting against Bumblebee? And remember, there is always more than meets the eye. Some of my sources were tfw2005.com, tfwiki.com, youtube.com, and my dad's memories, who inspired me to do this. Thank you for your attention.